Most men believe love is earned through endless giving and sacrifice. But the truth is simple. The more you give without value, the less you are respected. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." If your only aim is to be liked, you'll always feel empty. A woman does not fall for the man who tries to complete her. She is drawn to the man who already stands complete within himself. Aura is not money, looks, or status. It is calm strength that arrives before you speak. It is how you stand, how you breathe, how steady you remain when others try to shake you. Picture a crowded room. Everyone is loud, eager to be noticed. Yet the man who stays calm, shoulders squared, voice steady, commands the space without effort. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Stillness silences chaos more than shouting ever could." Most men walk like ghost shoulders, slouched, eyes lowered, afraid to be seen. Presence is about claiming your space with quiet strength. Stand tall, as though your spine carries a mission. Move slowly, as if time bends for you. Enter any place with the sense that you belong there. Energy is always felt before words are heard. Women notice it instantly. They don't crave noise. They are pulled toward gravity, Epictetus said. First say to yourself what you would be. Then do what you have to do. If you want respect, embody it in every gesture. When you speak, slow down. Lower your tone. Let silence carry weight. Every time you apologize without reason, laugh nervously, or shrink so others feel comfortably. Betray your aura. Do this long enough, and you fade into the background. Respect is never earned by begging for attention. It is commanded by refusing to shrink. Instead of explaining why you avoid drama, simply smile and walk away. No words needed. Your absence speaks louder. Presence is forged in discomfort moments when you are ignored, doubted, or tested. Don't explain yourself. Don't chase validation. Stay centered. A man who respects himself never begs to be seen. The world cannot look away. The calm man is king. In a storm of fragile egos, the one who remains still becomes unforgettable. If you wake up each day asking who texted you back, who liked your post, or who gave you attention, you are not living. You're only reacting. A man without direction becomes needy, emotional, and easily broken. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's true delight is to do the things he was made for." Purpose is not optional. It is the foundation of respect. A woman will not admire you if you orbit her. She will not desire you if you are always available. If your world revolves around her, you are not a man on a mission, you are a man in submission. And women test this daily, often without knowing it. The moment you abandon your path to please her, attraction fades. Nature respects strength, not weakness. I once knew a friend who built his own business while his relationship was collapsing. He did not ignore her, but he did not abandon his purpose. In time, she respected him more because his mission gave him weight she could not shake. That is the difference between chasing approval and building legacy. Epictetus reminded us. First say to yourself what you would be, then do. What you have to do, write your purpose. Break it into daily actions. Train your body for discipline, not likes. Work your craft for mastery, not applause. Study to sharpen your mind, not to impress others. When you live this way, you become rare, and rarity attracts. Think of the man who ignores drama, who chooses solitude over shallow connections. His focus is magnetic. The world is starving for leaders, not followers. Seneca said, "If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Without direction, you drift. With direction, you command." The truth is simple. She is not the prize. Your mission is. And when you live like that, everything else, respect, attention, love will follow. Not because you begged, but because you've built something greater than all of it. Chaos is everywhere. Relationships, work, even your own mind. But the true test is not the noise itself. It is whether you allow it to shake your foundation. Most men are fragile because they were trained to react, to please, and to beg for harmony at the cost of their dignity. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A woman will test you not to destroy you, but to see if you can remain steady. If she raises her voice and you scramble to pacify, if she ignores you, and you double text, you show you are not in control. And if you cannot govern yourself, how can you lead anyone else? Women crave strength, not reactivity. I once knew a man whose partner often created storms just to test him. Instead of yelling back or explaining endlessly, he simply stayed calm. Over time, she trusted him more because she knew nothing could shake him. That is leadership without words. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." The brave man does not flinch when challenged. He listens, but he does not chase. He holds his ground, not with anger, but with stillness. That is true composure. Every time you react emotionally and regret it later, you feel weak because you lost control of yourself, not her. The key is to sit in discomfort without fear. When disrespected, you do not need to argue. Remove yourself. When life turns uncertain, you do not spiral. You pivot. Your calm becomes the anchor others depend on. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The calm man carries that power everywhere. In a world full of reactive men, he becomes unforgettable. He is the eye of the storm, the one others orbit, the one others follow. Words are cheap when used carelessly, but they gain power when spoken with intention. Most men over-explain, seek reassurance, and talk their way into weakness. Seneca said, "Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." I value. Men understand restraint. They do not rush to fill silence or babble when nervous. Their silence makes others lean in. Imagine a meeting where one man hardly speaks, yet when he does, everyone listens. That is not luck, it is control. Value is felt in the weight of his words. Epictetus taught, be silent for the most part, or speak only what is necessary. When you pause mid-sentence, when you slow your tone, you signal certainty. Every unnecessary word bleeds power. Every filler phrase tells the world you doubt yourself. I once knew a leader who answered criticism with only a few calm words. Never argued, never justified. His results spoke louder than speeches. In time, even his rivals respected him. That is the power of saying less and meaning more. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Apply this daily. Cut the nervous laughter. Stop softening your stance with maybe or I think. Own your words. Listen more than you speak. Let your silence become strength. Respect does not come from long explanations. It comes when your presence, tone, and action speak for you. The man who speaks with intention commands attention. The one who proves through action needs no approval. His silence becomes unforgettable. No woman will ever respect you more than you respect yourself. Many men confuse being agreeable with self-respect. They compromise, overgive, and place her on a pedestal. It end up ghosted or tolerated. Seneca warned, he who does not prevent a crime when he can, encourages it. When you allow disrespect, you teach others to devalue you. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates that show others how to treat you. If they are always open, your value dies. True self-respect is keeping your standards firm even when it costs you attention. A man who walks away without flinching when disrespected shows strength without speaking. I once knew a colleague who was constantly interrupted in meetings. One day he stopped explaining and simply stood, packed his notes, and left. The room fell silent. Then on, no one dared cut him off. His actions spoke louder than years of words. That is magnetic self-respect, Epictetus said. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Self-respect means choosing your higher self over shallow approval. It is saying no to gossip, no to lukewarm attention, no to relationships that drain your peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Self-respect is built in private moments keeping. Promises to yourself, training your body, sharpening your craft, and walking away from what weakens you. When you live this way, people treat you differently. Women stop testing and start chasing. It's not because you manipulated them, but because you stopped betraying yourself. Self-respect is not optionally as the foundation of power. Without it, you are invisible. With it, your aura becomes undeniable. Tension is not about drama. It is about energy. Most men smother women with attention, constant compliments, and endless availability. But predictability kills attraction. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are needy, your presence will be too. True tension comes from restraint. It is in the second-to-long eye contact, the calm smile at her tease, or the light touch that withdraws before becoming desperate. Desire shown with control creates curiosity, and curiosity creates value. I once knew a man who never texted paragraphs, never chased when she pulled back. He gave enough to spark interest, but never enough to kill the mystery. In time, she invested more, not because of words, but because of the tension he allowed. To exist, that is subtle power. Epictetus reminded us, if you want to be loved, love yourself first. Tension comes from a man who is centered, who enjoys her presence, but does not fear her absence. He can flirt without begging, desire without depending. That balance makes him unforgettable. Seneca wrote, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach." When you live with depth and discipline, your very silence creates intrigue. You are not consumed in one sitting. You are a man of layers, revealed slowly, intentionally. The world is full of men who try too hard. The one who knows how to hold back, to remain grounded yet magnetic, becomes unforgettable. Subtle tension is not manipulation, is discipline. And in that discipline, she leans in, curious, drawn, and chasing what she cannot fully hold. Your appearance is the first signal you send to the world. Many men ignore this truth, hoping personality will carry them. But as Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, how you present. Yourself shows whether you value yourself. You don't need to be a model. You need to show discipline and intention. A clean haircut, clothes that fit, and upright posture speak louder than words. When you walk with calm steps, when you look people in the eye with steadiness, you project value. Women notice not just your face, but the discipline behind it. I once knew a man who transformed himself simply by training consistently, grooming well, and dressing with intention. He didn't become someone else. He became undeniable. People respected him more, not because of labels or wealth, but because his outer presence reflected his inner clarity. Seneca said, "A well-governed appetite is the greater part of liberty." Train your body not for vanity, but for mastery. Eat with purpose, sleep with discipline, and move with strength. Groom. As if your image is a signal of respect, because it is. Epictetus reminded us, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. If you want to be seen as strong, carry yourself that way. Stop hiding in oversized clothes. Stop walking with slouched shoulders. Show the world you are intentional. True physical presence is not about muscles. Alone it is about alignment. When your external form matches your inner strength, people feel it before you speak. In that moment, you stop being overlooked. You start being remembered. True value does not need to be announced. The strongest men build their reputation in silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Do not chase approval or status build quietly, and the world will feel your presence. Social proof is not how many followers you have, but how people shift when you enter a room. I once knew a man who never bragged about his work, yet his name opened doors because results spoke louder than self-promotion. That is influence without words, Seneca warned. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Surround yourself with men of discipline and focus, because you rise or fall to the level of those around you. Walk with leaders and builders, not with those who complain and settle. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Disappear for a season, build in silence, and return with results so undeniable that no explanation is needed." Your body, your craft, your discipline, these become your brand more than any speech or post. Every interaction compounds into reputation. When people respect your presence before you speak, your name carries weight in rooms you've never entered. That is true social proof. You don't need to shout. You don't need to beg. You simply live in a way that commands respect. The man who moves with quiet strength becomes a force. Not a performer, not a beggar, but someone who is followed naturally. His silence is proof. His presence is power. There is nothing more magnetic than a man who shows desire without dependence. Most men either hide their attraction out of fear or overexpress it with desperation. Both paths kill respect. Marcus Aurelius said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Desire is powerful only when it is disciplined. A man who can look a woman in the eyes and say, "I want you," yet walk away if her energy does not match, is unforgettable. His strength is not in suppressing his feelings, but in refusing to betray his standards. That balance of clarity and detachment creates obsession. I once knew a man pursued by women not because he chased, but because he never begged. He expressed interest briefly, then returned to his mission. They respected him because his world did not revolve around them. Controlled desire left them wondering, replaying his presence long after he left. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Controlled desire is freedom. Feel attraction, but you are not ruled by it. Can appreciate beauty, but you are not enslaved by it. That calm detachment makes you rare. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." It takes courage to want her but not need her, to show interest yet still walk away if it costs your peace. That courage transforms desire into strength. In the end, the man who disciplines his desire is the one she cannot forget. Not because he tried harder, but because he stood still, centered, and unshaken. His energy lingers, not through pressure, but through presence. That is controlled desire, the final mark of a man with power. Life constantly throws uncertainty, disrespect, and tests our way. But true strength is measured not by how loud you respond, but by how deeply you remain unshaken. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Most men react, arguing, pleading, or chasing when challenged. But the Stoic man removes himself from disrespect, pivots in uncertainty, and anchors himself in calm. He knows that losing control of himself is the only real defeat. Seneca warned, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Reacting in fear multiplies pain. Responding with composure multiplies respect. I once knew a man who lost his job suddenly. Instead of panicking, he treated it as a test, trained harder, refined his craft, and within months built something better than what he lost. His calm under fire earned admiration far beyond success itself. That is the power of inner steadiness. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Calm is not fake, it is trained. Every time anger rises, you pause. Every time anxiety grips you, you breathe until it fades. People can provoke you only if you hand them your peace. The man who can walk through chaos with clear eyes becomes unforgettable. He does not prove himself with noise. His stillness proves it all. In a world full of men who break under pressure, the calm man becomes the standard others follow. He is the eye of the storm, the presence others orbit.